10 minutes to do it, and whoever's at the top of that tier at the end is going to win. So there's the humiliation I was talking about. So that player gets set back, and then we just get set back, and we haven't gotten off the revolver yet, so there's nowhere to go yet.
I got a chance to play some gun game last month, and I have to say I love this mode because of all the different competing strategies at work there, because it forces people, you know, to use guns that they're not necessarily familiar with. So there's this challenge, this constant challenge of just working your way up that tree, and eventually it feels like you almost get to the point where if you're close to winning, you kind of almost focus on trying to knife people. That way that it keeps them down, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It's actually part of the strategy if you get too close, because guns in the higher progression are not necessarily really great for close range combat, right? Here in the early game, when we're on weapon tier 6 and 7, she's got SMGs. These are great guns. You can get through the SMGs and the assault rifles pretty easy, but the way the progression's set up is you are using weapons you're not familiar with early on. And most people don't walk around with just a pistol, and they don't walk around with just a crossbow and a ballistic knife or launchers at the end of the progression.
Right.
So you've got this really nice curve. It's kind of difficult to get started. Then you can kind of steamroll through it if you're, if you're a normal player who's familiar with most of the guns in the game, right? And then you've got this really interesting dynamic where the guns, in fact, get harder to use at the end. And the strategies can get pretty intense, because you could be a guy with an SMG going up against a guy with a sniper rifle. So the whole engagement range thing starts to play. And then, in a way, there's almost this little bit of thing you got to deal with, because every time you get a kill, that's good. You're going up in tiers. But there's also the time it takes to weapon switch to the new weapon.
Right.
And that is where you have to be very careful, where if you get so close to the action here, where you end up with killing somebody, then you've got this time where you got to get the new gun up, and if there's other people involved in the battle, you're gonna lose that window of time, is the time somebody else has to kill you. So you're always trying to find the strategy for gun game is to always sort of find the range or engagement at which you're going to tackle a person based on where you are in the progression and where they are in the progression. And that's how you can get through the progression really quickly, maintaining that margin, that zone separation. Running straight at them, trying to get a knife attack, not such a good idea.
And it almost seems like there's points at which maybe if you're getting towards, like, somebody else is clearly well in the lead and you're still just sort of trudging along at the bottom of the curve, it almost makes sense to just focus on the knife attacks, because that way you're just,
Yeah, in fact, you can see the lead player when the mini-map pings there in the top left-hand corner of the screen. You can see the gold, right? So you can actually use that to hunt down the #1 player and try to break down some of their progression. And if you can do that more than once, you can really get that top player off their game, get them under their skin, if you will. And then you have a chance to kind of climb your way back up. So if you're one of these players who has got the really fast eye to hand and can pay attention to both the mini map and your field of view at the same time, then you have to make a conscious decision if you want to knife the leader or you want to shoot the leader, because you need to shoot the leader to actually progress guns. You need to shoot anybody to progress guns. You cannot progress by knifing. You will not go to the next tier weapon. You've got to get a kill with that gun, right? So it's really important to decide what to do when facing down somebody.
And of course, whenever you talk about strategy in a wager match mode like this, there's always that thought in the back of your mind, oh, that's right, I've got money on the line here.
Yeah, it's really I've been in first place with 1 kill to go and dropped out, and it's the most heart-wrenching feeling ever, because there's money on the line. And then I've been on the opposite side of it, where I've gotten into first, like what just happened here, and I've maintained my dominance through 10 guns or so, and that's like, man, look how badass I am. So it goes both ways, and it's not, because the same people don't constantly win the gun game. There's so many variables at stake, and what the other players are doing, and who is getting humiliated and set back a level, that it's not the same game. I mean, yes, it's the same weapon progression, but it's never the same game. Cool.
Yeah, in my personal experience, once you start unlocking like those sniper rifles, that's, for me, it becomes challenging, because normally I don't spend a whole lot of time as a sniper, but that's what this That's what the gun game does to you.
Yeah, it does, and it'll help you. We just moved into the sniper rifles now, so here you've got to really put some separation between you and the players because you need this time to scope up, possibly to hold your breath and get that to kill. And you got to go through not just one, but 2 sniper rifles. So, guys who are snipers, they're going to blow through these guns. But if you're not a sniper, man, if you want to play the gun game, you better practice up. This is the danger, right? So Rizzo here is waiting for someone to come to her, and all the time that's happening, people are progressing. So you run the risk that your lead that she's in right now won't be protected in the long term because she's not out looking for the action. So again, it's a game of inches in so many ways, in milliseconds. You got to be really make decisions. Am I moving? Am I staying still? Yeah, that was amazing.
That was a shot from the hip there.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. She was pretty close, so it is possible. Here's that Grim Reaper.
I imagine the risk here is making sure not to blow up yourself as well as the enemy.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, if you do blow up yourself, you'll get that set back a level as well. So suicide's a penalty, a fairly significant penalty. So,
oh, nice.
So you don't want to kill yourself, and it's pretty easy to cause splash damage and kill yourself with the launcher. Oh, see, that's exactly what happens. Now that she's in first, people are going to come looking for her, looking for a knife attack, and now see how she has to back up in order to keep from killing herself there. And even then, she got a little splash damage. So you have to be super careful when you're up here with these launchers.
Rizzo's doing pretty well. 3 guns to go.
Yeah, this is her game because she's really good with the weapons. Oh, see, there you go. Like the dangers of assault rifles versus launchers, right? And that guy has a clear advantage over you. The reload time on launchers is brutal, right? It takes forever, as it should, because you don't want them being used as normally offensive-based weapons like this. They're meant for clearing out big rooms or shooting down kill streaks. So you have to be really kind of mindful of what you're facing here. And this has got a lot of arc, this launcher. This is the China Lake, so using it takes a lot of skill. It's the explosive power isn't that strong, so you can get a really nice lob distance, which can give you some really amazing kills, but it's not easy to use at all. So, it's just getting through. That was a near direct hit, and that guy didn't die, so you could be very careful when you're playing gun game and you get to the launchers, Find a good spot, try to protect your lead, try to go for, groups of people. Always shoot launchers against the back sides of the wall so you can pick up the splash damage from it. Those are good tactics. And, yeah.
That guy just got a double kill.
Yeah. You only advance one weapon even with the double kill.
Okay.
But it sure does make for good theater coverage later when you go back and show off your highlight reel. See how much time she's had to spend with this China Lake. Someone came along and took her spot.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a good.
Nice.
That's a really good kill because the guy had his back to that wall. So if you're up against guys with launchers, stay out in the open. Don't wall hug, right? It's actually a very common tactic to wall hug, right, so that you have the protection on all sides of you. But it's actually really dangerous to do here in the end game. Let's see if Rizzo can finish this off.
Oh, so close. We're about to witness magic.
Yeah, 1 minute though, so we gotta get it going.
No pressure.
Will not help you win knifing, even with the ballistic knife. I mean, it will humiliate the other player, but. So you see, the game's tuned to be like this, where the you're going to end up with these right down to the wire kind of games, and many games work very similar to this one in terms of the pacing or timing. Yeah, so she's got unlimited ammo here, so she can do a lot.
Ooh. It's getting hot.
There it is.
All right.
So finally, a first place in the money finish.
Nice. That was beautiful.
For Black Ops demo, and we'll get to see this final kill cam and see how it got done here. Hear the audio tune out. Oh, the guy right in front of you too. Oh. Yeah, that hurts. You can always count on a good final kill cam in any wager match game mode.
Absolutely. All right, so it's time to see if Rizzo can keep up that victory streak with this next wager match mode. David, What's going on here?
You got Sharpshooter right here, and Sharpshooter is going to be the game that the gun purists love. So in Sharpshooter, the way that it works is every 45 seconds, you're going to get a brand new gun. So the gun is totally and completely random. So right now we started off with the Kimbo machine pistols, you know, the dual wielders, and in 45 seconds this is going to change to, sorry, now 27 seconds, this is going to change to something else. And what that is, nobody could tell you because it's absolutely random. The attachments are random, the gun choice is random, and that keeps things fresh every single time you play it.
Now, are all the players using the same weapons at once, or is it random for each player?
That's right. They're all actually the same. So when Rizzo switches in 5 seconds, everyone will switch to the same exact gun.
Okay.
So this
it's an
is
even playing field.
absolutely it is. You know, so we went from machine pistol to SMG with the red dot, right? So, you know, she has sleight of hand now. So, and this is the only game, the only wager match game mode that actually has perks in it. Okay. But you know, unlike the traditional mechanism of getting perks, we simply just call them bonuses, and you get them by going on kill streaks. So it's a little bit of a mind twist for people at first because you're getting perks for going on kill streaks, right? But it's a way to reward players who are doing really well. So like Rizzo here is now on a pretty good streak. So if she can keep this up, she'll get to the top bonus, which is a scoring multiplier. Like some other game modes in wager matches, it's purely based on score. So you just want to get as many kills as you can, as fast as you can.
And let's talk about the map that we're in here. What's this one called?
Yeah, this is the wager match version of Launch. Launch is a medium-sized map. Played pretty good in wager matches with the regular map, but we've made some changes. Some map paths are blocked off. Those are actually reflected in the mini-map there in the top left-hand corner. If you actually compare that mini-map to the regular Launch map, you'll be able to see the distinction and playable space here.
And it's pretty much the Cold War personified, right? With those rockets about to take off.
Yeah, sorry. This is the this is the what we call the launch. It's a Russian Cosmodrome, right? It's a Russian launch facility where they put some Cold War, maybe satellites, maybe chemical weapons, who knows, into space. And this rocket, of course, the fans have seen it take off in the middle of a match. You see that path had been blocked off, and normally you could go underneath there and go under the rocket, but not in the wager match version. Oh. This game mode is really popular inside the group because obviously as a shooter studio, the guns are everything to people. So so basically being able to randomly give in a gun, it's really also just a fun way to test weapons. Because as much as you want people to use all the guns that we actually have available inside the game, people have their favorite guns, right? You got your LMG guys, you got your SMG guys, you got your snipers, and they're always going to take those guns when they're playing in the playtest because first-person shooter developers are intrinsically pretty competitive and they want to win.
Right.
So you have to do things, and I've actually had to go and ban people from using guns or actually take them out of the game so we could get feedback on other weapons, right? But if with a game mode like Gun Game, you don't have that problem because it's a random weapon, and if the game mode's fun, then people will enjoy playing the game mode, and therefore we'll have some good data and feedback on the actual weapons.
While we're on the subject, David, what's your preferred loadout?
Oh man, good question. I'm kind of a fan of rolling kind of stealth classes. It depends on the map size, but I usually take an assault rifle or SMG with a suppressor and a red dot, so therefore I'm using the hardened perk, so I can have both of those attachments at the same time.
Okay.
But I also like ninja, and I obviously like the ghost perks. I just prefer to rock stealthy. That's just sort of my play style, my personal play style. But it's there's a lot of really good options, mixing and matching with the Creative Class system.
Bonus acquired.
Yes, that's a variable zoom there, so that particular attachment lets you actually zoom in more than once, up to 3 levels with the variable zoom. That's new. So she's doing pretty good. First place with 35 seconds to play, and then on one of the most popular guns in the game right now. It's the FAMAS. It's a really steady gun, high fire rate. Not a